What is up, guys? It's Vilify here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Majin Power Legendary Vegeta event run. Kind of a tricky one when it comes to just like this overall event, compared to everything else that you're getting during this anniversary in terms of these missions. I say this one is on the trickier side, but with a little bit of luck and some RNG plus items, as usual, you will be able to take it down no problem. So the team that we're going to be using today consists of two Boo Tanks, LR Boo Tanks, one STR Kid Boo, one STR Majub, one Janem Boo, one Buff Boo, and I think that's it. Yeah. And one Exchange Boo. So obviously Exchange Boo is there to float, have his damage reduction when he gets to Super Boo. We have Janem Boo there to stack his defense up, potentially have his guard. Kid Boo to stack, the Boo Tanks is to stack, the Buff Boo to have really high defense, and the STR Majub to kind of do the Rainbow Orb changing and what he does at high HP. The beauty of this team is that you can stay at the high HP and not have anything to worry about. As, there's, what's the word I'm looking for? You're constantly healing. So, you're not going to find yourself running out of HP anytime soon. And most of the turns, if you are under 50% HP, you're going to heal back above that going into the next turn. So you got to kind of play around that. Make sure that you don't go under too hard, but if you worst case scenario, you use an item and then you just kind of go from there. So let's go ahead and pull up the Majin Power category. But before we do that, if you have not subscribed or left a like already, please do. It helps the channel grow a ton. I could definitely use the help. We are on the road to 200. I am at 197 at the time of this recording. So if you could please help me hit 200 within the next week or so, that would be so great, just so we can have another milestone here on the channel. You leave a like, it helps me, it motivates me to keep doing content. So before we hop into the Majin Power category as well, let's talk about me having some technical issues over the last couple days. So I have not been able to pump out these category missions as quickly as I've wanted to, but that should stop now because I've got everything sorted so we can go ahead and start banging these videos out again. So now that we've kind of gotten all of the e-begging slash disclaimers out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the Majin Power category. Now, it is a very small category, but there are some very good units that you can use in here in order to maximize kind of the effectiveness of what you're going to be doing. So let's talk about the top tier S tier units. And with that, we have LR Boo Tanks, Janem Boo, Boobity, Kid Boo, and I think that's about it. Yeah, I'd say so. If you have the 50% support Super Boo, go ahead and use him. The AGL Fit Boo, you can use him. The Tech Maj Oob is a good backup option if you need the healing. All that kind of fun stuff. The AGL Boo Piccolo is a bit of a sketchy run, but he does give the support for Boo Tanks to kind of maximize him out. In my opinion, Janem Boo is one of the best units that you can use on this team. STR Kid Boo is super good with his stacking and stuff like that. The Tech Buff Boo, not the regular like Destructing Descending Super Boo one, but like the big one, right? You know what I'm talking about. So he's called he's Raging Dash Majin Buu South Supreme Kai. So he looks like Buff Boo, right? Like kind of the one in the trailer that's about to get Supreme Kai. Not in the trailer, but in the anime. And then Grand Kai comes out, does his little thing, slices him up, and absorbs him, and then he becomes Majin Buu. The Majin Buu that we know, the Fat Boo, right? So that is kind of the one that we are at. I'd say that's probably the best way to go about it. It is a very small category, but if you kind of look at the team, see what you can build with items, 100% you can get through it. I would stay away from a lot of the STR options that are not Kid Boo or Maj Oob, as the STR-21 just doesn't link with the team. The AoE Majin Buu is just not for the Vegeta event. And transforming Boo, unless he's Boo Piccolo, you're just not going to get much out of him. So I would stay away from that. In Boo Tanks, stay away from him. Just not enough defense in this day and age. He's more of a Super Battle Road unit. Even then, still not really a Super Battle Road unit. But you can run him if you need to, is what I would say. So let's go ahead and kind of move on from that. Those are the units that you can use. Kid Boo would also be like a nice backup. But if we kind of want to talk about the meat and potatoes, let's talk about the kind of the state and what I think about the Vegeta event missions going forward. One thing I really like about the Vegeta event missions, and same thing with the GT Goku event missions, is that it gives us some nice variety in terms of content. It's not just the red zone where it's just you can only run like 50 units in the game, and you kind of get to use a team that you're not going to find yourself using. Like, when are you ever going to run the Majin Power team in the red zone? Or when are you ever going to run the Majin Power team in anywhere that isn't like a category stage designed for them, right? So when you get these missions, you kind of get to use these teams that you haven't used in a while, and it adds some variety and some fun. And I personally really enjoy that, just because, the more I get to use these units that I've summoned, the better, because, it really isn't that fun just running the Bond of Parent and Child team or the Fused Fighter team all the time. It's like, okay, these units are great. They blitz everything. I get it. But when you give me like a for lack of a better term, like a slice of life kind of stage where you kind of get to go back in the box a little bit and find a unit like Exchange Boo or Janem Boo or something like that. Just a unit that you're not running all the time. I think that's really fun. And it kind of keeps the game refreshing. You get to see animations that you don't see all the time. You kind of get to do fun stuff like bring out Buhan, because, you know, you're not really using Buhan that often from what I can tell. Unless you're a big Majin Buu fan, you're not running this team very often. So any excuse I have to run this team is always good. It's always great when we have like these refreshing things to go, right? Now let's go ahead, and now that we've talked about that, let's pull up the next set of missions. I kind of outlined this one a little bit so I had a direction with my commentary, because I'm obviously doing this in post. So let's go ahead and hop over to the challenge events. Let's go to Fighting Legend Vegeta. Okay, so the next set of missions that we are going to have, I believe, I feel like Planetary Destruction you guys have already done. I think it's Battle of Fate and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. So Super Saiyan 2, Majin Power. Yeah, so Planetary Destruction, Battle of Fate, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. Now, Planetary Destruction, that one's super easy. You have Kid Gohan and Broly. You let them stack to the moon. It's super simple. Battle of Fate's kind of the same idea, and the Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, do we even really need to talk about it? Those are the missions coming up, so if you guys are looking forward to that, they will definitely be videos up on the channel for Part 3. Now, Part 3 is probably the most exciting part of the anniversary that isn't like the initial summons during Part 1. Just the content in Part 3 is 3 of the hardest stages in the game at the moment, with Bojack, the Red Zone stage for Super 17, the Red Zone stage for Broly, the Red Zone stage for Omega. 4 just supremely hard stages, and it's really fun when you get to kind of take your 7-year LRs to the test. You get to bring your 7-year or your 200% leader skills out. You really get to bring like a team that you're running all out, and you know you're using items and everything, and it's still a challenge, and that's awesome. There will obviously be guides for each stage. I've already got them recorded, but the Broly stage, a lot of fun. I think the Broly stage is just such an unfair fight, and it's awesome, just because like there's just nothing you can do. And I think that's just kind of like you really get a sense of achievement and finality when you beat it. It's like, okay, I finally took this behemoth down. And what makes Bojack so tricky is that he'll lock a unit in place that obviously you don't want to have locked, and then it's kind of GG from there. So let me know how you guys are doing with these Vegeta event missions. Let me know if you're excited for the Red Zone. If you guys have pulled the units, obviously I wish all of you the best of luck with your summons. And yeah, I think over on the global side, things are going to be a little bit easier, but I've really been seeing the global cats get their ass kicked by Baby, and it's kind of satisfying to see. Because after Part 1, you know, everybody was like, oh, the Red Zone's so easy. JP players don't know what they're talking about. Baby's going to be a joke. And then they come out, and Baby just wipes the floor with them. They don't even know what to do. They're like, I thought this was supposed to be easy, and it's like, no, it's not. And, you know, when your 7-year LRs are taking a lot of damage, you're like, wait, what? That's kind of how Broly will treat them, right? Like the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta will take over 1 million in the AoE stage. So Phase 3 of Broly is probably one of the hardest fights in the game, especially if you can't scout the super and you know you can't nullify it and stuff like that. But don't worry, the guide for that one will be much more comprehensive. I will have a lot of technical strategies that you can use, different units that you can kind of do, utility works, support memories, items, everything like that. We're going to break that stage down and give you the most comprehensive guide possible, because Broly is the hardest stage in the game. And I think I'm going to either show, I might do a no item run for that one, just, you know, with whatever JP units are out there, but just know that Party X is coming too, so that's really exciting. Party X is going to save a lot of people's behinds. With the Super Saiyan 4 EZAs, the game just flips on its head, right? It just, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, it's like, all right, here's a 10 million attack stat with the additional from Gogeta, then here's another 10 million attack stat from Goku, and all hell just kind of breaks loose. But you guys are probably seeing on the screen now, we are getting close to kind of finishing up here. We have probably 4 or 5 more turns. It's kind of lagging a bit in Premiere, so I don't know exactly when we're going to be finished, but, you know, just know there's about 1:30 left here, so we're going to go ahead and run through that. But yeah, let me know if you guys are struggling with this one, if you need help down in the comment section below. I'd be glad to assist you, but the Majin Power category is small, so don't expect too much, but also, you know, don't be afraid to kind of risk something or try a different strategy that you might not have thought to do. That's kind of the beauty of these category missions, where you kind of do get a little bit more variety than you do with the Red Zone, because the Red Zone, it's like, if you don't have the 7-year LRs, you're kind of out of luck if you don't have any 200% leader skills. So, you know, it can be tough, but Remember, Goku Gohan's your best friend. Cell is your best friend. I watched a buddy today clear out the whole red zone on stream with the Cell team, so you can 100% do it. And that's where you kind of got to go with. But that's really all I got for you in today's video. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on daily Dokkan content like this. I say daily, but sometimes I miss a day or two. But, you know, you can count on me posting all the difficult content that's coming out with the 7-year anniversary going forward. There'll probably be a Super Battle Road stage video out tonight. And that's all I got for you in tonight's video. So thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. I'm out.